Peace.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight I am here to inform you what a technician does when you leave your second most valuable asset that you will ever purchase at our shop at Firestone. Most people bring their vehicles to us on a daily basis and they don't realize how valuable of an asset they are leaving with us. We do many different operations and at any point something could go wrong. So this is just to inform you that if you get a flat tire or if you have a tire that needs replaced, this is what the technician goes through. First, the technician will pull the vehicle into the shop. Once he has done this, he has to make sure that he secures the vehicle on the lift. There are 4 secure lift points under each vehicle. They have to locate this and make sure that they are secure. Normally they will raise the vehicle about 6 inches off the ground and shake it a little bit just to make sure that it is stable. After they have confirmed that the vehicle will not fall off the lift, they will then raise it to normally eye height. If they are going to take your tires off the vehicle, most vehicles take a 19 or 22 millimeter socket. Most technicians will find these 2-in-1 sockets. One side is going to be 19 millimeters while the other side is 22. There are some odd sized lug nuts on vehicles, but this is a pretty standard set. This gun hooks into a hose that comes from our ceiling. It supplies air to the gun and gives them all their power. So what they do is they hook this up and they remove your lug nuts off of your wheel. Once this is completed, they take the tire and the wheel off of the vehicle and they take it over to the tire machine. 2 machines that I will be referencing many times throughout this speech are these. The one on the left, well, your right, is our tire machine, and the one that is next to it is a balancing machine. This is normally how they are set up in most vehicle shops, so I'll pass this around so you guys can look at it. Once the tire is off the vehicle and they roll it over near the tire machine, what they'll do is they will take the core out of a valve stem. Most vehicles, 2007 and older, have a regular valve stem. Every vehicle, mid-2007 and newer, is required to have a tire pressure monitoring unit. What the technician first must do is determine which type of valve stem you have. The newer vehicles have sensors behind the tire that you cannot see. And so when you're demounting this tire, you could possibly break the sensor. I'm going to keep it, thank you. I'm going to keep it simple and stick it with the regular valve stem. It's a lot more complicated with the newer vehicles. What they do is they take the valve cap off, and we have this little handy tool that removes the center out of the valve stem. This is your valve core. This allows all of the air to come out of your tire pretty instantly. The next step that they will do is they will take this nifty tool and remove your wheel weights. All tires have high and low points in them, and so do rims. What you have to do is equalize the balancing on them so the tire doesn't shake the vehicle while you're driving at high speeds. What they have to do is remove these because once you put the new tire on or remount a tire after repair, the location of the weight displacement changes. So they take these clip ends and there's a hole on the back of the wheel weight that this inserts into, and you have to be really careful not to smash your fingers on this. It hurts pretty bad. What they do is they just snap this off the wheel and they throw away the old weights. The next step is on this tire machine, there are 3 pedals. On this side there's going to be a metal lip that will slide between the tire and the rim, and you have to push the pedal that forces that part to go into the tire. What this does is it breaks the bead of the tire where the tire and the rim meet and allows the tire to become removed from the rim. So first you do this on the exterior and then you flip the tire around and you also break the bead on the interior. Next you'll take the tire, you'll lift it up, and then you can see on here there's a silver plate. You set the tire on that and you push the middle pedal and it contracts the claw on the inside of the rim to secure it so it can't fall off. So after the bead is broken, there's an arm on it and you push it down into between the tire and the rim, and you spin the rim as you go around and it pulls the tire's bead up over the rim. The interior bead will still be placed on the rim. So what you have to do then is take a pry bar and wedge it in between the tire and the rim while spinning it in order to break it off. At that point, the tire will become completely removed from the rim, and you're able to continue on with the process of putting the new tire on. You have to remember every time you take the tire off that you have to replace the valve stem. This is to prevent them from aging because they will become dry rotted and it will just cause you a higher chance of having a flat tire. So every time the tire is taken off the rim, the valve stem gets replaced. We have this nifty tool that allows you to pull it. It clamps on the rim right here and allows you to put pressure on this valve stem to where the back part of it breaks off and the top part comes flying out and you just discard it. The next thing you need to do is put this on a new valve stem and pull it up through the hole into the rim. The valve core is normally already in the new valve stems, that way you don't have to worry about putting it in and not having one. Most technicians will remove the new valve stem core, so that way when they go to put air in the tire, it goes in a lot quicker. So, next what they do is they take the new tire. We have many different options of tires. The biggest difference that you need to be concerned with are directional tires and non-directional tires. Directional tires only give you traction when the vehicle is going a certain motion. So if you would want the traction to be when you're going forward. If you mount the tire backwards, you'll have great traction in reverse. Normally that doesn't do very many people very good though. So once you've determined the tire is not directional, you put the DOT on the outside of the vehicle. This number provides information on where the tire was manufactured and the week and year also that it was manufactured in case you have a recall or a warranty issue with it. After you've determined this, you set the tire on top of the rim, and then what you're going to do is put that arm that you used to take the tire off on the inside of the tire to put the inner bead below the top lip of the rim. You do the same thing for the outer bead. So the tire should be flopping in between the two edges of the rim, not really secured. You then put air in the tire. You'll hear a popping noise once you know the tire is seated. Sometimes the tire doesn't want to fill up with air very easily, so what you have to do is lift it up over the valve stem to make sure that the air is going straight into the tire. Once you have the tire seated, most vehicles take 32 pounds of air per square inch, so that's what you would need to fill the tire with. Once all of this is done, you now have a tire on the rim. All you've left to do is balance it. You then take the tire to the second machine and you spin it. That machine will tell you exactly where you need to put the weights and how much. So you'll take the same tool you took to take the weights off to put the weights on with the other side because it has a hammer. And then you just take these weights and you hammer them on where the machine tells you. After that is done, you take the tire back to the car. You take your air wrench and you tighten the lug nuts with, this is called a red torque. And you put this on and you tighten this just until they're snug. You don't want to over tighten it. The next thing you have to do is take, this is a torque wrench, and each car has its own specified torque that the wheel has to be at. This prevents over tightening the wheels, that way if you have a flat and you're stuck on the side of the road, you'll still be able to get it off, but it will be tight enough to keep the tire on the vehicle. After that, you lower the vehicle down, you kick the lift in so that way you do not run over it, and you back the car out of the garage. And that is all it takes to put a new tire on the vehicle. Thanks, guys.
Good job. Go ahead and pay $800.